On the galley top, there's room for an alcohol stove, which has a good cutting board that covers the burner when not in use. Here's another view of the interior. Check out the big mirror on the bulkhead. This is looking aft. With the galley forward, there's good access to the rear berth on the port side. Here's another scan of the interior with the galley aft. Here's another view from the rear. The dinette seat back has been removed, so you have a better view. Under the rear dinette seat is a large ice chest. There's also a place on the rear berth area for a standard carry-on ice chest. This is the galley in the rear position. The sink and stove are still accessible. You can push it even further aft to get more room in the main cabin. Here's a good view of the dinette converted to a big single berth. It's 7.5 feet long. Here's another view of the galley. The dinette seat back's easily removed for access to the rear berth. The rear berth is a full 6 foot 6 inch by 5 foot 9 inch, nearly as large as an American queen size bed or a European king size. This is rare in any boat. There's full sitting headroom over a large area. This is the head, the fully enclosed head. Many other boats have a head tucked under a bunk. These are awful to use when others are on the boat. It's essential to have walls and a good solid door. Here's the electrical panel. It's easy to reach from the cockpit. The windows are large and placed so that you can see out while seated on the cabin seats. The forward view from the cabin can be quite rewarding. With most sailboats, you're stuck with small side windows and usually no forward window. There are a lot of convenient places to store stuff, big and small. Here we took out the cushions and hatch covers. There's a big storage compartment under each of the seats and berths. These are the V-berth hatches. This is the vent for the water tank. It allows air to get out as the water comes in. There's a high dam around it to keep water out of the boat. The main inlet valve's on the transom. The battery's located under the ladder. There's room for a second battery or for a pair of larger batteries. Warning labels containing the important news are inside the hull and on the steering pedestal. Here's the boat at anchor on a quiet night. It'll be hard to find a more cozy, comfortable interior on a small sailboat or powerboat. While we're scanning, I'll add a side note. Insurance. Many homeowners' policies automatically cover boats under 26 feet with relatively low horsepower. This one generally qualifies. A big cost saving. The cockpit's big and self-bailing. The seats are over 6 feet long and very comfortable, big enough for sleeping outside or for sunbathing. Here we have the anchor roller, the furler, and the forward mooring cleats. The anchor locker will hold a large anchor and lots of line and chain. The foredeck hatch gives lots of ventilation. This is all first-class hardware. This is the track and car for the small jib. And for the Genoa. The lifelines and bow pulpit help keep you on the boat. This is the main sheet traveler. Under the cockpit seats, there are places for two 12-gallon fuel tanks. Wheel steering's a lot more natural than a tiller, and it takes up a lot less space in the cockpit. Here's the sunshade. There's lots of headroom, and the boat can be sailed and powered with it in this position. Unlike a centerboard, the daggerboard has no underwater pins that require maintenance, and there's no underwater drag from a large centerboard trunk. Unlike a centerboard, it can be removed while the boat's on its trailer or while in the water, and the housing takes up a lot less room in the cabin. The rudders can be raised and lowered from the cockpit. If you hit something while sailing, they'll kick up out of the way. Fixed keels, fixed rudders, and exposed centerboards make this maneuver impossible. The daggerboard retracts fully into the hull. The 26 has a rotating mast, allowing the mast to line up with the airflow across the mainsail. These are found on almost all modern high-performance catamarans. With a fixed mast, there's a lot of turbulence along the forward third of the mainsail. The rotating mast smooths out this flow, providing more forward thrust and a lot less sideways push. It's a major reason why the boat's so fast. The mainsail now becomes so efficient that you can sail without the jib or Genoa and still make good speed. It aligns itself to the proper angle without human intervention. We use stay adjusters here because turnbuckles flex, bend, and occasionally fail as a result of the mast being raised and lowered. This is the boom fang. It's not essential, but it makes for much better sail shape and a lot more speed. The rudders and the motor turn together for exceptional control. The motor can be disconnected from the rudders to allow easy steering while sailing. And now for some sailing. The boat sailing with its Genoa jib in a brisk 20-mile-per-hour wind. This is the Pacific Ocean, just outside Angels Gate, the entrance to Los Angeles' very busy harbor. The rig's quite pretty, very efficient, and very strong. A boat that is fast and that handles well, like this one, is easier to sail and safer. It will certainly yield greater long-term enjoyment than one that is slow and unresponsive. You can learn to sail in a single afternoon. Read our excellent sailing instruction manual that's posted on our website. Choose a nice day with a light breeze when you don't have to get anywhere in particular. Turn on the engine and power around. Then put up the mainsail and let the wind provide some of the power. The engine will get you out of any tight spots. In a tug-of-war between the engine and the sails, the engine will win. After you see how it all works, try the jib. It's one of the easiest boats to sail that you will ever find. A real test of a sailboat is how well it sails in light wind. Check out the flag. Almost nothing, but the boat keeps moving. The price of the 26 is similar to the price of the best-selling full-size four-door cars delivered in California. Our prices are way less than those of our competitors. This is the boat sailing with the smaller jib. Here's the boat sailing close into the wind in lumpy seas and tacking. Some boats are difficult to tack and end up dead in the water. It's called getting in irons. Not this one. Even in choppy waters and brisk winds, it comes around fast without losing a lot of speed. This scene shows the boat going through 180 degrees from one course to the other. In really light winds such as this, many boats have trouble doing this. Not so here. In extremely light wind, the boat still sails very well. The boat is sailing in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Cornwall, England. Here's a race between the new 26, the darker hull, and our previous boat, the 26X. The speed difference is the result of the rotating mast, somewhat more sail area, and the elimination of drag from the centerboard opening in the bottom of the 26X's hull.